Hey guys, Artosis here. Welcome back to ArtosisCasts, and this is going to be the final video in the 14-game ladder series between ZeLoT and Rain. Unbelievably, in this 14-game series, currently they are tied up 6-6. This is like esports fan fiction. We only have 2 more games to go. It could end up a tie, or someone is going to end up winning. We do not know yet, and we won't know until the final end of the last game. Wow. What a series it's been. A huge amount of different strategies and openers from both sides. Really some great macro games in there as well. But of course, I think the central lessons here have been the scuffles between the early units, right? There's been a lot of Lings made early, a lot of ZeLoTs, even some cannon rushes. A great series it's been. I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for other times that this happens on the ladder, where you get 2 players that play each other like an inordinate amount of times in a row. Like 14 is beyond expectation. I literally don't think for the rest of my life I'll ever see that again. But you never know. You could get something like 5, 6, 7 games between 2 players. I've definitely had the same player probably about 5-ish times in a row, something like that. So like series like that can be awesome. Now, it is a gateway expansion coming up for Rain. Not a big surprise. Over on ZeLoT's side, hatchery first. Of course, we saw in that last game that they played against each other, which was game number 12. This is 13. Game number 12, the ZeLoT pressure actually ended up killing the hatchery, that third hatch from ZeLoT. It seems like he was a little bit greedy, maybe made an extra drone or 2 that really needed to be Lings earlier on and took a ton of damage from that. Well, hopefully that won't occur again. That kind of really fast game, a little bit anticlimactic maybe, but honestly, to tie it up this late into the series, and with the game being so short, I guess when you're watching it, you're like, well, maybe ZeLoT's just going to win with a Ling all in, and then it just goes completely against your expectation, which is cool. So the first ZeLoT is out and going to be sent across the map while the probe continues to scout here. There's that ZeLoT making his way. Well, yeah, I mean, nothing too big to talk about, honestly. It's just like a couple of normal openers. So I'm going to take this moment and say thanks for watching ArtosisCasts. I really hope you've been enjoying the content, and I'm glad that for those of you that this is a regular part of your day. I love to hear about that. It really it makes me happy because I have certain things that are certain parts of my day or my week as well. Like when KCM is going on and stuff, like I love getting up on like Thursday morning and watching that type of thing, right? And I love, stuff like that's amazing if you have something kind of regular. So thank you guys. I love hearing about it. And of course, if you subscribe, if you like the video, if you leave a comment, all those things are super helpful and super appreciated. Now, the third hatchery has been made pretty darn far away. It's pretty far away from Rain 2, but he is sending his ZeLoTs over there, and he's putting a lot of damage on it. Look at this. This is getting very, very, very low. Now, 4 Lings are coming over. 4 can't fight 2 ZeLoTs, especially with the probe coming up, so he's got to be careful about that. More Lings coming up. 8 absolutely can fight 2 ZeLoTs, but that is so close. He was so close to just being able to force a cancel or kill it. Honestly, if he had 1 more ZeLoT, it would have been dead 100%, obviously, but like that, it was down to like 50 health. But yeah, I think he looked at that and said, no, we can't quite do it. So ZeLoT surrounding these ZeLoTs, and they will be picked off. They trade reasonably well. 2 ZeLoTs heading towards the natural now. There's Zergling speed on the way and a lot of Zerglings, so it does look like we're going to be getting into an all-in here. Uh-oh. This might turn really bad really quick. ZeLoT running by. There's no photon cannon as of yet. The Overlord is just sitting there in range watching. I think he knows he can break through there, but some of his rallying Zerglings getting caught by these ZeLoTs. So those are actually still doing a reasonable job. Now the Zerglings come up and start to attack the gateway. He surrounds that ZeLoT. The ZeLoT does have to back out. Oh God, he's getting on top of the cannon. This might be a quick one once again. Yeah, so the Zerglings get in. That is 5 Zerglings inside the main base. That is a big, big issue. Like, this will kill anybody. 5 Speedlings in your main base, and ZeLoT's good at micro as well. Trying to get another cannon up. The Lings come over to the side. He knows how far he has to commit to try to stop that from killing him. Brings up these Lings to flank as well. Just puts them on the Nexus for now. He'll bring them up, I think, in a moment. And yeah, there he goes. He swings around, goes after that cannon as the probes leave it. And I think we have another Zergling all-in victory here for ZeLoT. GG! He takes the lead 7-6 on to the last game. So here we are. After a very long journey in game number 14 in this 14-game series, we see that Rain is going for a Forge double scout here on a 4-player map that is polypoid. And we have a spawning pool first here by ZeLoT. Well, I mean, it's a ladder game, and I don't know if these guys really kept track throughout. They probably have a general feeling, both of them, that ZeLoT is slightly ahead, and he is with that 7-6 game-winning advantage. But obviously, for our intents and purposes, this is a very important game. Who comes out on top? Does ZeLoT come out on top with an 8-6 win rate, or does Rain tie it up and we had the most immaculate... perfect, amazing, close series ever played? Yeah, it's hard to say, and that's what we're here for, and that's what we're going to figure out. So the probe comes down. He's going to see that it was, in fact, a pool first. Not a super aggressive pool first, as the Lings are just now going to be popping. And he does get Nexus first here without any problem. Throws down his cannon, and he's going to feel like that is enough. Cannon, he'll probably throw the gate right there. ZeLoT, in the meantime, going to go ahead, send a drone to his third base location and make that. And I tell you, I just don't want it to be a Ling all-in. Honestly, I think the odds of seeing a Ling all-in against a Forge opener are very, very, very low. Much more likely to see a 3-hatch Hydra all-in, but honestly, it's cross-spawn. Like, this might be the game to go, or a game to go layer here for ZeLoT. Yeah, it's hard to say. You never really know what he's going to go for, since he has such a wide range of cheeses. With a bit of macro mixed in there as well. But yeah, Ling comes up, scouts that it is the cannon, and yeah, starts mining that gas now. We'll see if he tries to throw down a Hydralisk, and if he does, maybe it'll be at a different base because the probe is in here. But we're going to see, because look, okay, 50 gas. There it is, right in front of the probe. That's purposeful. If you make it right in front of the probe, sometimes that's suspicious. Sometimes you do something like that because you're like, I want them to see this. I want Rain to overreact and make 3 cannons, and I'm not going to attack, or something like that. You don't know. But throws down that Hydralisk Den, and the probe is still alive. So, I mean, as long as you keep the probe alive, you can kind of figure out what's going on. One thing I do want to mention is that if you morph a Zerg building, like you turn a Spire into a Greater Spire, or a Hatchery into a Lair, or a Lair into a Hive, you can see that it's doing that. Everything else, upgrades, for instance, like any upgrade that you're making, the Zerg building doesn't do anything different, okay? So, like, here, it's like a couple Protoss buildings do things like this spins, the Stargate blinks, okay? And that's it as far as Protoss. And then for Terran, everything shows animation when it's doing something. For Zerg, nothing, okay? So, kind of funny. It actually makes me feel like StarCraft was kind of an unfinished product where it's like, okay, well, all units with concussive damage are Terran, and then they didn't add that anywhere else. And all the buildings show that they're making something with Terran, and then some with Protoss, and then none with Zerg. And it's like, okay, did we get lazy at the end? Did the game just need to come out? It was taking too long? I honestly don't know. Maybe I'll ask some Blizzard employees I know at some point that worked on the game. But I do wonder about that occasionally. So what I'm trying to say is, keeping this alive, it's not like this is pulsating more with the upgrade going. He does not know. Okay? So anyways, it is a Hydralisk rush coming. Obviously, he already got the speed upgrade, and he has range on the way. And in fact, chasing down this ZeLoT as well. And a Dragoon is out here for whatever reason. That's kind of funny. That's kind of cute. I missed that while I was talking about the other stuff. Okay, 2 more cannons are finishing up at home here for Rain, adding more gates as well. Citadel on the way, and there is a Corsair coming up. You know, with this Dragoon out, he didn't get any Overlord kills or something. Sometimes that's why you'll see something like that. And the Speed Hydras very quickly making their way across the map. All right, getting into position now. Is it almost time? Are we going to see a bust? Another pylon's going up, by the way. Comes out and gets some additional damage onto this. So he's really trying to kill off this this Overlord. Doesn't quite get it, though. Pulls back with the Corsair before losing any real energy or any real hull damage. And same with the Dragoon. More cannons on the way. He's already got 4, adding 2 more. A lot of Hydras are coming. ZeLoT looks like he's just going to try to break Rain. This is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, comes forward, and he's going to try to target everything down. The probes actually come out pretty seamlessly. In fact, drills them a bit more. Uh-oh, the cannon's starting to really reduce in size. But we actually have the probes with such good surrounds that, are you kidding me? 2 cannons live through this and even get that Overlord. Now we have a supply block for ZeLoT, and the probes will stay here and tank a bit more damage. That is very purposeful. He just needs to slow these down so that these 2 cannons could finish. And, oh my god, ZeLoT's rush is stopped. Rain lives. He's going to start throwing down some more cannons. There are more Hydras coming across the map, as we can see. This Corsair is still flying around, doesn't have kills yet. Going to continue to try to get some. ZeLoT legs are almost done. 3 ZeLoTs at a time being made. As ZeLoT legs finish, he can definitely go out here and push back some of these Hydras. More cannons added in. Do we have a second forge up here? We do not. So this forge is the only forge right now. The ZeLoTs come out and will kill off a couple Hydras. I think that definitely was worth. Buys some more time. This photon cannon finishes. Looks like these 2 will as well. Don't forget, he did make that secondary pylon, so it will power all this. 26 probes against 21 drones. So this is actually a very hard game to call because the rush has been held. Okay, the rush is over. He's droning. He's making a layer, right? Getting his economy back online. But he did kill a fair amount of probes with it. So Rain's economy is not exactly where he wanted it to be. So that is just, it is something to mention here. If, like, for instance, he hadn't had to use all those probes, he'd have over 40 probes right now, and we would definitely be saying about how he's really far ahead, but it's not the case. Now, the ZeLoTs come out, and they will surround some of these Hydras. This is probably one of the more powerful things on the map right now, or the most powerful thing on the map, is this group of speed ZeLoTs. They don't have any... well, actually, they do have +1 attack. My bad. I didn't realize that had finished. But he did get +1 attack. He does chase those Hydras out. And now ZeLoT, who has been droning, needs to make more Hydras to try to hold on. But if these split up, it can be really hard to split your Hydras efficiently. You want to hit a critical mass of these ranged units to be able to kite back against these. Whereas you have like 1 or 2 up here, these 2 ZeLoTs will wreck them. The other one's going towards the natural. Now, this is where most of the Hydras are. So it seems like these 2 have the most potential for damage, and they will get a little bit. And in fact, the other ZeLoTs come up to help too, because they realize, oh, this is the under-defended area. Beautiful move here from Rain. Get some ZeLoTs on top of these Hydras, and they're doing a great job. Look at this. Turns that around as well. Try to lure them back into the rallying up Hydras, and some drones will get picked off here. Looks like he loses 2-3 drones. 1 ZeLoT turns around, tries to get another one. Won't quite get it. Gets it very, very low there, and Rain retreats. Looks like he's retreating on both angles right now. That +1 range attack about a third the way done. We have High Templars out. Psystorm almost completed with 3 High Templars already here. Gonna add those gateways. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes up to 8. Would make a lot of sense to me right now. So we have 6. Now, that's kind of an older style we don't see as much anymore, but you can go 6 into a 3rd base. Now, the ZeLoTs come back and actually will scuffle with these Hydras, do a great job. Good Lurker morph there to try to save that really low Hydra. And in fact, he will just turn around with those ZeLoTs. Knows he can't get any more with the amount of Hydras coming up. Forge and Robo coming up. So making that second Forge, I think you don't want to try to upgrade this dies in like seconds to anything targeting it. Range coming as well. Might just go heavily into those Dragoons. This is something that we've talked about a lot on this channel, the more modern Dragoon style that Rain really seems to be the leader of. I really love to see that. I think it's very, very strong. But this does look and feel to me like he wants to take a 3rd base. I guess we'll see in a moment. The ZeLoTs coming back out, and these are going to be more like harassment ZeLoTs still, right? They're very fast, can run around, try to see if they can get some damage, see where everything's at in this game. There is an additional base coming up, but already Lurkers being made. You know, the other games where we saw the 3-hatch Hydra into Lurker, most of it was trying to contain Protoss. Here, ZeLoT is going to play defensively. right? So he's got a lurker up the ramp here, adding another hatchery, getting a fourth, putting these lurkers on high ground. This is a great defensive position. This position mostly protects all 3 bases. Now, there is technically a route you can go on to try to get in, but if these units come down, you're against a wall and there's nowhere to micro. So that can be really dangerous to run in through this way, even though it looks open. So this is a great defensive location. And of course, up here with the small ramps, kind of hard to break overall because they can make the choke very quickly. If you just bring your units to the ramp, everything is going up single or double file, and that's it. Now, a lot of Dragoons are out. Observer on the way, +1 armor on the way here as well. Back at home for Zerg, we have Overlord drops coming up. Okay. +2 ranged attack as well. Looks like he did pick off that Overlord, by the way. That's a little attack sound we just kind of heard. Kind of a crazy game. You can see really good macro here. Like, I was caught off guard by the 6 gates, but it seems like 6 gate Dragoon, he's got his economy nailed right now. And he's building up just enough money so he can get that 3rd Nexus as well. There it is. 3rd Nexus goes down. Very strong mid-game army. Really excellent-looking mid-game army right now from Rain. Looks like he wants to send those Zealots off once again down the side, see if he can find anything, see if anything's around. And in fact, sometimes even if you know there's an Overlord here, for instance, you can send units and just make it look like you're doing things, which can catch Zealot off guard, maybe make him play more defensively somewhere. Now, a lot of Hydras and Lurkers moving up here. The speed Overlords, I think they're being caught. See this? You see the way the Overlords are moving? This looks like he's getting ready to drop. He might be going up here and saying, oh, do you have another base? No? Okay, load up and go in and drop here. So that's something that Rain has to be really careful about here. Yeah, he's loaded up quite a few of the Overlords. That is a very scary drop indeed. I'm like holding my breath right now. And an attack here from Rain. He's going to try to break this 4th base location. If he can break these lurkers and control this, that could be game winning. There's an attack coming up to the 3rd. This is drawing units out of the main base, but that is not the main attack. This is the main attack. So right now we have a base trade situation. Literally, this base being dropped upon is going to be in terrible shape. He is going to be able to blow up everything with these Hydras. It looks like some Zealots and High Templars running up. In the meantime, Rain continues to push forward. This is the best way to end this 14-game series. Look at this damage being dealt absolutely everywhere. Lurker drop at the natural. Rain pushing into the natural over here. Beautiful Psy Storms going up. Almost no drones left over at this base. Will continue to push forward up towards this main. Could he get him down to just 1 base? In the meantime, is he killing enough over here to make this worthwhile? He's killed this Nexus. No mining. No mining. Rain is not mining anything right now, but there's not that many units left over. There is an Observer coming up. He picks this up, the 2 Lurkers into his Overlord. He's bringing them up into the main base. He picked up the Hydras as well. So 2 Hydras and 2 Lurkers remain. In the meantime, Rain pushing into the main base. Okay, so this looks to me like Rain is going to be able to take this. He storms down the drones. He's going to kill all of the tech in here. This is going to leave Zealot still with good macro hatcheries. He's remaking his Hydralisk Den. He still has like a reasonably sized standing army. Don't forget, Zerg's supply is more efficient than Protoss supply. And he does have another big drop setup. So if he can kill the main base, we're going to be down to 1 base versus 1 base with not a lot going on. Let's see if he can do it. The 3 observers in here going to make this really hard. There's going to be Psy Storms as well. Turns around, going to bring the Lurkers to the natural. Okay, drops 1 here. Going to stop mining completely. Flies over the Photon Cannon, starts dropping some Hydras out. Tries to make it so that they aren't too stormable, but that is a beautiful storm up there. A lot of the Hydras being taken out. A lot of the Hydras being taken out there as well. Rain clearing out this drop. We have the Lurkers over here, but he did pull the probes, and I think we've got it for Rain. It looks this way to me. Very low economy on both sides. Lots of damage on both sides. But this, I don't think can match what Rain has left over. The fact that he still has 2 Nexuses. Oh, I love that. Everything's in the way. He's having a hard time clearing this Lurker. He will end up getting it. Very few units left. ZeLoT trying to micro back. Another storm over here. Trying to get rid of that last Lurker. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's just trying to dive onto the probes. He's trying to kill every probe. You know, in a situation like this is not bad. You might get into a situation where you've killed every single worker and they can't make another one. That happens sometimes. That happens sometimes. That is a possibility. All right, the storm goes down. Still very little. It looks like rain wants to break through. ZeLoT continuing to harass. Very little mining going on. All right, double storm. That was a mistake. Throws down a storm over here on this lurker as well. I think he's going to have enough to break it. Pushes forward another storm. The Dragoons should be enough to gun through all of this, I think. The Hydras come over. They're going to take this high ground fight. The storm helps to soften them up. Yeah, it looks like the Dragoons. Oh, my God. Hold on. He comes in with a flank of Hydras. Hold on. Hold on. The Dragoons are being picked off. I was about to call this for Rain, but he's losing like every single unit right now from that flank. We still have ZeLoT trying to macro up here. Double the supply for Rain, but like, again, all this is 2 supply. All this is 1 supply, so it's not as far off as it seems for ZeLoT. You know, it still does feel and look a bit better for Rain. ZeLoT having to pull back. He's got very damaged Hydras here. How much do we have mining? Very little mining here from Rain. Rain trying to fight. The Hydras very microable, by the way. Like, without the Psy Storm, it's hard, man. Like, you got to overwhelm. You got to get them against a wall, that type of thing. And you can see they can just kind of run away. Now, we have a lurker on that high ground. Excuse me. A few Hydras up here as well. It looks like he's going for another Hydra drop. But he doesn't have enough units at home here to hold on. Rain pushing up. GG is called, and Rain will end up tying this series. Absolutely unbelievable. After 14 games on the ladder against each other, these two heroes are going to end up 7-7. It has been a wonderful series. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.